Welcome. You're watching Media Spotlight UK. I'm Lozz, and today we're with Impact Wrestling's Josh Alexander. Josh, how are you today?
I'm well, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Excellent stuff. Great to hear. And thank you for joining us on this wonderful month as we progress past Easter all the way through to April. Really wanted to get straight in. And the first question I'd love to ask you is born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What was it like growing up there? And how did you start out in wrestling?
Well, started out as a fan of wrestling or started out wrestling? There's two
Oh,
different, very
well, we could let's go for how you started out wrestling, please. How you got
okay.
into the business? Where did you train? All those kind of wonderful things.
I'm a country boy, so I'm outside of the city of Toronto. My first job was on a farm. I grew up near the water. I had a really good, rural life. And I went away to university to the city and didn't have any friends. All my wrestling friends had gone to different universities and stuff. So we were separated for the first time. So I didn't have that comfort security blanket anymore. And I needed something to do. So this was about the time that, the internet was a thing. Like I finally had high speed internet. So I discovered Google and all this other stuff that not like I didn't know what it was before, but it wasn't as prevalent. Like I'm aging myself clearly, but I Googled independent wrestling, through guys like Loki and AJ Styles. I discovered Ring of Honor. So I discovered independent wrestling through that. And I found there was a wrestling school near me. And I just, drove up one Saturday. I literally just wanted to like get in a ring and see what a ring was like. I had no intention of being a wrestler. And the guy made me take a bump and I screwed up. And then he corrected me and made me do it again. I did it perfect the second time, and like all these people were clapping for me and being like, wow, I've never seen somebody do it that quick. And I was just like, hey, this is pretty cool. So like that's just how it started, man. Like I had no intention of or dream of being a wrestler. It was just this thing that like I somehow found and fell into that. Just like I'm happy I did, though, obviously.
Excellent, yeah, for sure. I think that's so important. Again, doing something that you love to do, and also finding something new, and then finding out that you're really good at doing it as well. What was it like, getting inspiration from your peers at the time as well? You mentioned that the guys were quite keen on your skills. Was that good? Was that good? And how did that kind of work out?
Yeah, I was a really overweight kid in high school. So like I didn't have any friends or like self-confidence and stuff. The friends I did have, we were all bonded by being wrestling fans. And just when I went away to university, I thought like I'm an adult now, it'll just kind of like be its own thing. And it didn't happen like that. But when I discovered wrestling, it was like I've been studying wrestling my entire life because I was obsessed with it. I didn't
Mm,
realize it until I got in a ring and I realized, yeah, I know how to do a lockup. I know how Eddie Guerrero used to put his feet when he did this. Like I already like subconsciously knew how to put like where to put my feet, what I had to do with my arms when I hit the ropes, stuff like that. So like I was very coachable. So it was just like it was meant to be is the best way I can think of it.
nice, nice little touch there as well. That you were a fan growing up as well, which is, I guess, super important to really find something that you love to do, and then also be inspired by that. And my question is, yeah, what inspired you on that journey? Who inspired you? What was it like?
I became a fan like a little later in my life when I was like 10 or 11 of it was Stone Cold Steve Austin right before he won the title at WrestleMania 14. And then on the other channel it was Sting in this crow makeup. And like I love the movie The Crow, but like through that I discovered the Eddie Guerreros and the Chris Jerichos and all these Rey Mysterios, this wrestling I'd never thought possible. And that's what I really got hooked on. And then like as I started high school, I fell out of it a little bit. And then this is where the real inspiration came. I tuned into TNA on a Wednesday night. This was the new competition. Like I thought the other thing was stale. So I was like, sweet, we have an alternate now. I can check this out. In the very first match, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles Loki against the Flying Elvises. I was sitting down with my friends watching it. And I remember specifically Loki, but also AJ Styles, because I'd seen Jerry Lynn before. But those two guys, they just blew my mind and showed me like a completely different style of wrestling. Like now I didn't like wrestling was possible for me now. I'm 6 feet tall, I'm 225 pounds. But like I always looked at myself like I'm not Hulk Hogan, I'm not Batista, I can't do this. And then I saw somebody who's like Loki, who's like 5'7", 165 pounds. But when he comes and he gets into that ring, like he's larger than life. I'm like, oh, I can do this if I really want to. So like that's what was the catalyst for everything. Those guys.
That's a really cool inspiration, yeah, particularly from the smaller weight guys who don't have to be of huge mass to make it. And how did it feel when you first started making it pro? You know, when you got your first couple of matches again, was that something that really gave you more push?
Yeah, it was an instant addiction, and the addiction is only grown stronger since, and it's been almost 16 years. I don't, the only place I feel comfortable is in a ring, really. Like everything else, like I don't know if it's like how I was raised or the environment I was raised in, but like I'm not like socially comfortable in many spots. I keep like a very small circle, and like wrestling is just like my solace. So like,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Great to hear. And going from the past all the way to 2019, you returned to wrestling with Impact. What did that feel like?
It was something I never thought would happen. I had written any and all hope of becoming a wrestler that's contracted to a major company out of my life. My sole goal was to make the Canadian scene as big as possible, and like because I was stuck in Canada, so I figured if I was going to do something with wrestling, I should do something like what Pete Dunne did in England. He made the scene so big with Tyler Bate and the whole British Strong Style crew.
Yep.
They made the scene so big that they became a big deal. They got the spotlight on the scene, but they also benefited from it. So like I looked at the Canadian scene, there's a lot of talented guys here, and it's very difficult to get noticed. So I thought if I can do anything, maybe I can get eyes on the scene. And I started doing that, and through that, Impact took notice of me. So
Excellent. Oh, for sure. A fantastic return to pro wrestling. And yeah, I think what you said there as well about putting Canada on the map too. I know that's super important for you as well. And I know that you've got a lot of love for those in Canada.
yeah, it's just there's so much. I want to make it easier for the next generation than it was for me. I don't want to just skip out and be like, later, guys, I'm gonna go wrestle on TV now, and have at her. I would rather just leave something to them that like, makes it easier.
That's great. And you could become the inspiration for the future generations as those greats that inspired you to get between the ropes. That's something special. And do you see that happening?
I don't consciously see any of that stuff until like I got a message last week from a guy that's 2 years into wrestling, and he told me he'd never have started if it wasn't for me. And it was just like a
Wow.
little thing I did when he first started training. Like I showed him how to like take a suplex properly, and I just took the time to pay attention to him because like when I started wrestling, maybe a year or two into my career, I had a match against Bobby Roode, and this was like 2007. So Bobby Roode had just switched to like the hottest free agent in TNA. He was like the biggest deal out of Canada at the time in TNA, and I was obviously crazy nervous, but like I didn't realize that this kid that was talking to me, he looks at me like I looked at Bobby Roode in 2007. Like I don't look at myself like that. You know what I mean? So like that just puts it in perspective that like I wield this power and I have this responsibility now to help other people, and like that's when it sinks in.
It must be nice to yeah, nice to be able to give back as well.
Mm, yeah,
Particularly, and then also it's always good when you get that unexpected feedback as well. That
yeah.
information, that insight from others, wonderful stuff. I've been very keen to ask you about what's been going on recently because there's a lot been going on. There's a lot been going on Impact Wrestling, and recently, just to start us off with this, I noticed, you came to the aid of TJP after his match for the X Division title, which he almost won. It was ruined by Madman Fulton, and so yeah, talk to us about that moment. We didn't expect you, so yeah.
Me and TJ had this singles match. I think it was in February now, and it was like my coming out party for the X Division. It was my first X Division match, and like most people are talking about it like it's match of the year, and like it's already on the top 10 X Division matches of all time for Impact, which is insane to me. But like, so we had this competitive match, so we have a mutual respect of we take very seriously what happens inside that ring. We want to present wrestling as it should be, and we agree on that. I obviously don't want a tag team partner or anything like that, but I recognize that in TJP, and there's not a lot of people willing to help TJP in the locker room. So we have that mutual respect. I had to reach out and help him because I don't like Fulton. I really don't like Ace, so I don't mind.
So definitely bigging up the fact that you came out to protect the integrity of the X Division title. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. Keeping them at bay, and definitely not a good bunch, those two for sure. My next question is, what does the X Division title mean to you?
The X Division title is all. it's the one thing on my bucket list that would please my inner child. So that 13-year-old kid that tuned into the first Wednesday night pay-per-view and everyone thereafter to see, Samoa Joe versus Chris Daniels versus AJ Styles for the XDivision title at Unbreakable 2005, like that fan, that inner fan, that kid in me, like I'm gonna put a smile on his face when I win that championship. And that's one of the cool things I got to slow down and remember, and I have to let it sink in when it happens because it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Big statements, and yeah, a great opportunity for sure. And again, something that you value so highly, I think definitely should go round that waist. Um, so again, X Division, it's a big idea for you, something that you want to get your hands on. But last week on Impact, we saw that you teamed up with TJP and against the devious Austin Aries and Madman Fulton, and it didn't quite work out. So again, could you talk us through that? What happened?
I mean, we just weren't on the same page. Like I made it clear that I don't want to be in a tag team. We have mutual enemies, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend for them. And yeah, it clearly didn't work out. I didn't feel him tag me. I didn't know. I was well in control of the match, so I don't know why he would have tagged me. But like we had, we're not friends. We're not tag team partners. So that's obviously going to happen every once in a while.
Need
We'll
to
just
be
have
on
to
that
see where it
same.
goes from here.
Yeah, it needs to be on that same page, and especially just being put together with someone as well that are both skillful and talented in the ring as well. Upset there for sure. Would have been nice to have seen you got the win in that match. I wanted to ask you, what's next for Josh Alexander as we get ready for Hardcore Justice on April the 10th, live streaming on Impact Plus. So or if not on that, what's next for you? What are you going to be looking for?
Well, leading into Friday, I have to pick and find a partner for Hardcore Justice. I'm in a three-way tag match against TJP and a partner of his choosing, against Ace and Fulton, clearly, because he already has his partner. So I need to find a partner, and I have a phone full of contacts, and I clearly have a partner in mind. So we'll see who shows up at Hardcore Justice to be my
Oh,
partner.
big surprise of a surprise in a tag team department. And then
hmm
um, at a broader aspect though, what do you think for yourself, is your goal at the moment for the rest of 2021?
My whole thing is like, if I'm not improving or moving forward, I'm not doing anything. I'm not happy. So like I'm gonna be X Division champion, and then hopefully I can cement my legacy like I did in the tag team division as a great X Division wrestler. But then after that, I'm gonna have to set a new goal because like I don't have like an end goal on my bucket list. It is just a next stepping stone after I reach the next one. So after the X Division, it's gonna be the World Heavyweight Championship, and then after that, who knows? Like I'm gonna have to keep setting these new goals for myself if I keep achieving stuff that I never thought possible.
Excellent. Yeah, really cool. Especially getting more gold, getting more titles. Big. Would you consider? I mean, no one ever turns down an opportunity, but would you like to hold the tag team titles again?
See, I've said it many times that I do not want to tag with anybody other than the person I tagged with before,
Gotcha. Yeah.
just because like I don't think that chemistry will ever be there again. But like I can never say never. So if an opportunity, like if you look at someone like James Storm, I thought America's Most Wanted was one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and then all of a sudden Beer Money came and it blew him out of the water. So if something better comes along, I can't turn it down.
Yeah, for sure. Got to take those opportunities when they do rise, of course. Excellent stuff. Quite a big question here as well. But what would your dream match at Impact be?
It would be myself against Eric Young.
Eric Young. All right,
hmm
nice.
So Eric Young was the biggest deal out of Canada. He got signed when I started wrestling, so he left Canada. Our careers have gone in opposite directions the entire time for now almost 16 years, and now we meet in the same company again. So I think that's the one match that has eluded me my entire career, and the one match I would mean the most at this point.
Nice. Eric Young versus Josh Alexander could be a big one. I'd like to play a quick word game with you, if you will. Would you mind taking part?
I would not mind. I
Excellent.
uh, I can't guarantee I'm going to be good at it, but
Oh, it's all good. Don't you worry. All I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you some Impact wrestlers, and all you have to do is pick one. You don't have to give us any explanation. You just got to pick one.
okay.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so let's go. So, uh, Diona Perazzo or Jazz?
Deanna Peraza.
Diana. Okay, sweet. In the bag. Finn Juice or the Good Brothers?
Good brothers.
Good Brothers, all right.
Mm,
Cody Deaner or Jake something?
Jake something.
Jake something. Excellent, good stuff. Moose or Sammy Callahan?
Moose.
Moose. Excellent. Eddie Edwards or Rich Swann?
Ooh. Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards, all right. And finally, Josh Alexander or TJP or Austin Aries?
Josh Alexander. Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. Good
Yeah.
stuff, no doubt. Got to be the Josh Alexander in that kind of lineup. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Josh, I just wanted to say, is there anything that you'd like to say to the UK fans out there? Because a lot of fans of Impact Wrestling over in the UK. Is there anything you'd like to give them a shout out to, or anything you'd like to say to them right now?
I would just like to thank everybody for the support over the past 2+ years, because I've seen like my like brand and my name value grow so much in the UK that like I just never thought it was going to be like a thing like that. It's like the fandom for Impact in the UK is huge. So I just appreciate all the support from the fans. And for anybody that's reached out to me in the past like month asking me where they can watch the show and stuff, it's Thursday nights. It'll be on the Impact Plus app, just uploaded for free after it airs. So you can watch everything there and keep up.
That's right. Excellent stuff. Everything is over on Impact Plus. And where can the fans find you as well on the socials?
I'm at walking_weapon on Instagram and Twitter, and through there, my DMs are open. If you got something to say, I'll try to communicate with all of you.
Excellent.